Nature's wealth, good for your health. This is the Raw Life Health Show.
Hello everybody, this is Paul Neeson from the Raw Life Health Show. Here we are making our next recipe, our Nacho sauce. We're going to be using the blender today. Today we're using the Total Blender, also known as the K-Tech blender. You can use a Vitamix. You don't have to use an expensive blender. You can go and get an inexpensive blender from any store or anything else like that. Here's our ingredients for our Nacho sauce. We have our water here, about a half a cup of water. And we have a half a red bell pepper. So we have a half a pepper. Then we have our half a cup of pine nuts. Half a cup of pine nuts. Then we have a half a cup of sunflower seeds. Then we have 1 tablespoon of miso. Then we have 1 garlic clove. Then we're going to use 1 tablespoon of fresh lemon juice, so it'll come from that lemon. And then we're also going to use 1 teaspoon of sea salt. Now, if we're using the miso, we don't need the sea salt. If we're not using the miso, then we need the sea salt. And 1 teaspoon is just a suggestion. You're just going to add enough for taste, so for whatever type of taste you want. So that's our recipe here that we're going to make. And then also we're going to use a fresh pepper here, a hot pepper. Some people like to use a red jalapeno pepper. We're going to use a green one, which is nice and hot. We're going to make sure we take the seeds out of that so it's not too hot. So there you go. There's our ingredients for the Nacho sauce. And what we're going to do is we just made a taco meat. So this is like a nacho cheese. It's a vegan cheese that you can put with the taco meat, and you can put it in some kind of taco shell, a vegetarian shell, or even a raw sprouted shell. That's something that you would make in a dehydrator. But today what we're going to do is we're going to put them on some flax crackers. So it's going to be almost like a little taco pizza deal going on here. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our water. We have a half a cup of water. And we're going to put that half a cup of water right in the blender there. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to take a half a red bell pepper. We're going to put that in the blender. This is so simple. Next thing we're going to take is we're going to take a half a cup of pine nuts. We're going to throw that right in the blender. Then we're going to take our sunflower seeds. We got a half a cup of sunflower seeds. And we're just going to put those right in the blender. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to take 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. Now, you can figure it out with a tablespoon, but I've been doing this so long I pretty much know what it is. And also some people like a little more, a little less, so you try to figure out yourself. Then we're going to take 1 clove of garlic. We're going to throw that in. Then we're going to take 1 jalapeno pepper. Some people like to use a red pepper for this, like a hot red pepper. And I'm just using a hot green pepper. And pretty much there's all our ingredients. Again, if you soaked enough beforehand, you don't have to use as much liquid. But if you don't soak enough beforehand, then you will. So what we're going to do is we're going to just blend this up here. Whoops! Forgot to put the miso. So we're going to add our miso there. We have 1 tablespoon of miso. See, no one's perfect, and my name's not nobody, so we got the miso back in there, and then we'll blend that up. I knew you viewers were saying, well, where's the miso, Paul? You showed us miso, and then you put miso in the blender. What's up with that? Well, we just added it, so just relax there. So we're just going to continue blending. And there we go. We have our recipe all finished here. Let's look at that. Kind of has almost like an orange coloring. That's our cheese. It's like taco cheese, orange. So we have our orange coloring here. So there we are. There's that. So what we're going to do is we're just going to taste this here. You always want to taste it, especially before you go and serve it to people. Tastes like taco meat. Oh, so here we go. Smells wonderful, smells like cheese. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to take flax crackers here. So we have these flax crackers that were made in a dehydrator, and we'll show you that on another episode here. We're just going to put the flax crackers down. And there it is. There's our dressing right there. That's our salad. So we have our taco meat, our nacho cheese sauce, slash salad dressing slash whatever else you want to call it. And then we have our flax cracker. And let's go and make ourselves some taco pizza. The first thing we're going to do for our taco pizza is we're going to take some of our taco meat and we're going to put it right on top of the flax cracker. And it's a pretty thick consistency, just like meat would have, very similar. So there we have our little sandwich there. So there's our meat on our flaxseed cracker right there. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take some of the cheese and we're going to put it right on top of the meat. Almost like a pizza. Again, you could use these in a taco shell if you like. Some kind of raw food taco shell or even some kind of wrap. And you could add some guacamole and salsa to it and that'll really complete it off. And there it is. We have our taco pizza. It's quick, simple, and easy. And we're going to go ahead and try this here and just see how it is here. Wow. You know, some people will go to a raw food restaurant and spend a lot of money on something like this. Right? Instead, you could just spend a lot of money and buy my video. Nah, just kidding. You can make this very simple, easy at home, and so on. Now, you might ask, where do I get all these recipes from and everything else? And a lot of times I make them up based on whatever ingredients I have in the house and so on. But a lot of times I like to get other recipe books because there's so many great recipe books out there, so many people who have done this. So let's take a look here and see just some of our recipe books. We have so many different recipe books here. We have the Raw Food Revolution by Sherry Ciara, and we have another one, Angel Foods by Sherry Ciara. Here's Raw Foods Made Easy, which is a popular book now by Jenny Cobley. Then we have here's one, the Complete Raw Food Recipe Book. That's an old one. I have one of my recipes in there as well. We'll make that another day. We have Recipes for a Longer Life by Ann Wigmore. We just have a whole bunch here. There's Hooked on Raw by Rio, a great raw food chef and good friend. So we have a whole bunch, but these recipes that I just made today came from one of my favorite raw food recipe books, and that is How We All Went Raw by the Top Raw Men, raw food recipe book. And so there's the Top Raw Men, and there's my good friend who's not a top raw man, she's a top raw woman, and she's their sister. So that's the whole family here out of Arizona, and they make this great raw food recipe book. You can get it from my website on rawlife.com. This is one of the easiest, simplest books out there. That's why I like to use this book. There's some great endorsements in this book as well. But just to show you how they do simpler recipes, here's the recipe we just made, the Nacho Macho sauce. See, it only takes 10 minutes, which is pretty cool. And you can just go down here, and it just has all the ingredients. It's very simple, and then, you know, it's just a wonderful book. So all these raw food recipe books are wonderful. A lot of times, again, I just look around what I have around the house and I make my own thing. But all these recipe books are wonderful, and anyone can use them. So we have our little here taco pizza kind of deal going on. And you could also add sliced tomatoes to the top if you wanted to, or cut up some salsa, guacamole if you want to continue with that Mexican flair. So there's so many different things you can do. Wow. So, this is Paul Neeson for the Raw Life Health Show saying, have a great day and make it a tasty raw life.
This is the Raw Life Health Show. Raw Life.